Good morning. I want to address Zambia President Hakainde regarding the issue of Ed Kalungu. I really don't know what language will Zambia understand. Upon reading the letter that I wrote to the last letter I wrote to late President Manawasa, and the comments that followed after, I want to say it troubles me why Zambian presidents continue dying, neglecting God's warning. What is spirit which possesses the Zambian presidents? This issue in the court, in the Pretoria High Court, in Court E, 4E, that's where my first application to the High Court was heard before Judge Palani. She was a woman. And to make the matters more clear is that both the Lungu family and President Hakainde, they are not willing to consult the God who has given the roadmap of politics in Zambia, in Africa, and in America from 1990 vision. Before I received this vision, what makes me have confidence of God speaking through me, I started 1988. I had a dream where my brother-in-law had gone to buy a car in Botswana from Zambia. And there was a bus accident where a lot of people died. And when those people died, unfortunately, my brother-in-law used to take 1 week and so forth, he comes back. But that time, it took more than 2 weeks, which was becoming an issue, and everyone was worried. What happened thereafter? It was around 5 o'clock. I just felt my eyes were heavy. I said, let me just take a nap, just to sleep a few minutes. And it was not usual. It was very unusual for me to sleep around that time, because 17 hours from school, it's time for me to play around, but I entered to sleep on a sofa. As I slept, I was caught up in a vision. I saw my brother-in-law driving a cream white car, and a voice said, he's coming, he's on his way. I woke up, I searched for my sister and my sister-in-law. When I found one of my in-law, I said, I had a dream. At that time, I didn't even know whether a vision is what can come when you are not in a deep sleep, but you are just forced to see something. So I said, I saw my brother-in-law coming with a car, cream white. So this is what I saw. And I was so clear to say he's coming right now, he's on his way. The voice told me. It only took less than an hour. My brother-in-law arrived with the same color of the car. It took again some time. I had another dream when my brother's wife, that is my sister-in-law, Mr. Chamnorwa, is now late. She went in a village to go and give birth. It was again around the 20 hours. Somehow, around 20 hours, supposed to be watching TV, playing around, but I was taken in a sleep. I saw her giving birth a baby girl. So I went again to the kitchen. I found my sisters. They were still chatting. Actually, maybe they had not even had their supper. So I said, I had a dream. My sister-in-law, she has given birth to a baby girl. They said, what? I said, yes, write the time. Right now, 20 hours, they wrote the time. So now, the following morning, I met my brother. I said, no, your wife, she has given birth to a baby girl, and it was 20 hours. So he went, and for sure, when he came back, he confirmed to say, yes, she gave birth at 20 hours. Exactly. Those were not ordinary dreams. They were extraordinary because they were so precisely. Then, come 1990, I had a significant dream where I saw Dr. Kenneth Kaunda seated on a throne-like chair, and the wife was standing the other side, on his right-hand side. I saw him running to the left, and the wife ran to the other direction. I saw Chiluba coming, and I asked her, who is this one? The voice told me to say, this is Chiluba. And Chiluba came and he sat. When he was about to relax, as he was putting the leg on top of the other, I saw him running, and I saw the Pope. I said, what? Who is this one? Pope John Paul II. He sat and he relaxed. That's how the voice told me to say, after these two people, the government that shall come, it shall be under the Vatican rule. So based on that dream, I understood that the economical slavery that Zambia will go through, in the context of my understanding, was that Africa, under the leadership of the Papas, shall go through economical slavery. So now, 1997, then I had a first dream that I saw the UPND, this symbol. When I saw the Pope pointing his finger, influencing voters to vote for the UPND. 1999, I saw 3 boxes. There was one box here. It had a symbol of a fire. The second one, it has a symbol of a clock. The third one I saw with a symbol of the palm, open palm. So these three parties were in line, and according to the revelation, the UPND part of the palm is what is going to bring in what is understood as the mark of the beast. So it actually amazes me to see how the UPND government resisted this warning. It also surprises me, the PF government. I left the PF government in 2012 when my life was threatened under Michael Sat, and Lungu was the Minister of Home Affairs, and Lungu was the one that was sending people to come home to investigate me, perhaps even those who are following me. I suffered a lot of atrocities during that time. I was being followed. I remember the other time I was going to deliver, I was delivering my products from Lusaka to Kabwe. From Kabwe, I was heading Kapiri Poshi. And upon reaching close at my Kapiri Poshi, the same car, which was a Pajero, I saw when I was joining from Komboka, as I was joining the main road, Great East Road, I saw a Pajero was parked the other side. So by the time I joined, I saw also it was following. I reached in town Lusaka, I didn't see it. By the time when I was parking in Kawe, I saw the same Pajero car. It passed where I'd parked, then it passed through, it went. So I thought maybe it's just coincidence. The time when I was driving, heading to Kapirimposh, when I looked back, I saw the same car following behind. Then I said, what is happening? This is how I went on the first garage, which we call filling station. I had to pour my petrol. As it passed, then I realized that, okay, because when I'm supplying Kapirimposhi as my last point of distribution of my products, they are waiting until when it is late, my life will be endangered. Instead, I had to make a U-turn. After filling my tank to full, I made a U-turn. I actually speeded from that point. I had to sprint from the garage until I entered my fence home in Komboka, because I avoided unnecessary clashing with the enemy. My wife asked me, what brings you this time? Did you finish supplying? I said, no. I explained my situation. So from that very day, I suffered another attack when I was in Mfurila. Was it Mfurila? Yeah, Mfurila. In a hotel. I woke up, found the hotel smelling, and I also somehow drowsed. My life was at a risk. I've been followed right through. Then the last one was the attempt of killing me, which was not even the last. There are many other incidents that I may explain, but just because I want to emphasize on one thing. The last incidents which made me run for my life is now after I was driving now a smaller car, a Toyota Corolla, as I was going home. Just there at Kamwala, I was hit by someone. And the following day, when I took the car for repair, I was just greeted by a man who I didn't know, but he told me that he knows me, and he says, "What are you doing here, evangelist?" I said, "I'm actually putting my car for a final beating, and they're just doing spray painting." He says, "Don't waste your money. Leave this country. The president doesn't understand you. He'll kill you. Thank God that you survived yesterday's accident." So all these things that I'm explaining, it is based because of God's ministry. And my staying here is not because of fear. It's just because I came to realize that when I was here, I said, why did I accept to run away from home? But I said to myself, I think I was not supposed to leave home. Then God revealed to me to say, even Jesus Christ was a refugee. Joseph was approached by an angel, and he was told to say, take this child to Egypt, and a word shall be given you to come back. And the word was until Herod had to die. That's when Jesus Christ had an opportunity to come. So, when I was arrested here in South Africa at United Nations, accused of trespass, of course I cannot trespass at the United Nations as a refugee. Even a non-refugee cannot trespass at the United Nations, because United Nations is a police for refugees. It's actually created to protect anyone whose life is in danger. So it is clear to say that arrest was simply planned. And I have an audio that confirms that fact, which I even filed before the High Court. So it is the reason why my phone numbers and everything was confiscated and been attacked, so that my case can be closed and I cannot have access to everything, because they are trying to delete the evidence. So now what I'm trying to say is, why is it that I'm speaking these matters almost on a daily basis? To some, you may know that there are many other points that I'm repeating. I don't sleep looking at how should I save my country. I'm not happy to see the family of Edgar Lungu suffering in the court, despite that as a home affairs minister, he contributed to my suffering. I'm not there to feel that I'm happy of what is happening. At the same time, I'm not happy to see the gap of vengeance between the two families, Hakainde Chilema and Lungu. But I'm just worried with Hakainde Chilema, because he must bring this thing to an end. And I've been appealing to Hakainde Chilema to call me, so that I can go between the two, because God revealed to me these things that are happening in advance. Those who are insulting me, those who think that my talking makes me to become PF, I'm in a refugee, because PF could not understand that I was not against them. PF thought I was an enemy, and the PF still thinks perhaps I'm still in fact they are still looking at me as someone who is sent from somewhere else. Because even yesterday when I was at court, when the court was over, Makebi Zulu saw me, he looked at me, he failed even to greet me, perhaps because I confronted him over the white lawyer, because I mentioned to him to say that lawyer did not perform as a lawyer. He was compromised. I mentioned that. I even sent him an audio. I also mentioned it to Luwinda, to say the lawyer, the way he performed was not convincing that he did it as a lawyer, because he failed to produce evidence of persecution of Edgar Lungu. But nevertheless, I don't feel I have a fight with them, because they don't understand me. At the same time, I know UPND does not want me closer to them. As said, this one is George Chela, who said SDA doesn't want you near them. So since UPND is the government of a president who is SDA, that statement still applies today. But my concern is, are we going to continue losing presidents? Well, God has put it clear to say this matter can be brought to an end. Are we going to continue fighting visions and dreams that have a track record of being fulfilled? Are we going to continue rejecting visions because you feel I'm a political cadre? I want to appeal to anyone who is hearing right now to say, if you can listen to the letter that I wrote to Mwanawasa. This letter was 20th March 2008, and Mwanawasa died in August. So I want to say that in this letter I was seeking an appointment, but he was adamant to reply. I said, Dr. Lev Patrick Mwanawasa, the third Republican president of Zambia. Dear Mr. President, brief appointment letter to President Mwanawasa. How are you with your family? With me, I'm fine. The might God is sustaining us. I'm writing to seek an appointment to meet you urgently. God has revealed something that I need to share with you. Usually, there are many things that God reveals which I may not speak in public, and I may not write it on a letter. I may seek an appointment. And a lot of politicians, they have a problem with that. Perhaps they think I need to have access to their wealth or money. Not at all. There are things that we speak that alerts our enemies that give warning to our enemies, and that makes our enemies advance towards us with a lot of aggressiveness. I continued in this letter to say, this is an opportunity to rescue from a pending national predicament. Before the death of Mwanawasa, Zambia did not yet experience the death of a president. This was the first national predicament that God revealed to me. God has revealed something that I need to share with you. I really said this based on the information that I had from a vision. Then I said, former President Chiluba avoided me at all costs, but today he has proven my revelations and there's no peace in his going. If he listened to God in April 2021, by now things were not going to be, they are going to be different. I want to say this. Chiluba died whilst in a political meeting where they poisoned him, precisely in the fulfillment of this vision and declaration. I said if you had listened to me in April 2001, by now things were going to be different. What happened in April 2001? April 2001, that's when I handed this book to him, telling him to say third term was not God's blessing, telling him to say the house that he wants to build in his state house, which I saw him putting a mud house, a grass-thatched house, was not God's blessing. God speaks in parables. God speaks in dark saying. So I understood that he wanted to extend his term of office. But I said it before it was announced, to say, I saw you erecting a grass-thatched house in front of State House. And by the time we wanted to commemorate it, as he was cutting the ribbon, a strong wind came and blew off the roof of the grass. And everyone is scattered. So the third term scattering is what brought in Levi Mwanawasa, is what brought in Rupia Banda, is what brought in Sata, is what brought in Lungu. That scattering of the third term. Meaning that from the original vision of UNIP, MMD, and UPND, there was born a PF government in there with an agenda that was supposed to be the agenda for leadership that will come after Hakainde Chilema. I had told Michael Sata not to go for president because I understood that it was not his time. Restoration of the economy cannot come before the destruction of the economy by UPND. So when I was saying, Sata, don't take president, allow Hakainde Chilema to be the president, then you be the vice, then after you are going to correct the wrongs of Hakainde Chilema. I refused. He says, I'll be president no matter how it will take. What happened? I warned him to say, the stage that you are entering is dangerous. You are going to do what? You are going to die. After I had a dream in 2008 where I saw him with a wound here on the chest, on the shoulder, and on the head. So my appeal to Michael Sata was not heard. Listen to this statement of this letter. I said, therefore, I urge you not to be stubborn or wait to prove God's word when it will be too late to save your soul. God has a program with this nation, and He wants you to play a role in mending the cracks of a broken wall. I will appreciate to see to it that you are agreeable to meet me. Enclosed is a copy of the book, The Rescue Operation Airport Trap. Yours faithful servant of God, Evangelist Alex Masuka. So the copy which was inside in the letter that I gave him, it was this one, The Rescue Operation Airport Trap. This book contains a lot of revelations. I actually had to write, if you are able to read from the back here, this book is actually the foundation of this ministry. I'm appealing to those. This book, I'm selling it 500 rands, which translates to 700 kwacha. But I'm willing to give these books and this one also the same amount. It is latest. I just had to sell the first copy yesterday. So I want to tell you to say, I want to give out these books because they are warning letters. And this one is a call to rescue the economy. Is the roadmap to economical freedom. So the youths, I would prefer that every youth in Zambia must read this. Every youth in South Africa must read this. Every youth in Africa must have this copy and understand what it takes to save the nation from economical slavery. I'm giving these letters, these books. When you want a soft copy, you have to pay 100 rand. I'll send it on WhatsApp or I'll send it in your email. I have no problem. You have to use, I can give you my account number. If you have to use Swift from Absa Bank, Swift Cash sending, you can do what? You can send it direct in my account. Either you can even use ShopRite. ShopRite is international. Here in Africa, it's sending from country to country. You can also send using ShopRite. You can also send using Mukuru, your 100 rand. It will be much appreciable because we need to support the ministry. I wish I was at a point that I can give you for free. But this time I'm asking you to pay something so that the ministry can be supported. I can also improve the studio. I can also preach the gospel. I can also support the revolution of Ibrahim Traoré because he is our Moses today. I want to be short, as men have complained to say my videos are too long, but I thank people who have complained. But the longer the messages were, they are meant to reach those intended to be rescued, like the presidents, the opposition leaders, and so forth. But now, I will actually accept the advice. I'll be making them short so that the general public can get one point after another. Wait for me for another next video that I will continue to expound on this letter and how I actually interpreted it to a point that even when Levi Manawasa died, it was not my wish that he could have died. God bless you and thank you.